It's a good
We're
time.
behaving like children.
We are.
Welcome back, everybody.
It's penis related.
You can't say those words in the first 10 seconds of an episode, is it?
Shit.
Because
Not gonna say
genitalia
shit.
are, disgusting. And we must never, ever refer to them. Okay, so we've got like a million things we need to do because we just went through and read all our comments. Thank you so much, everybody.
Oh,
We really
friends, you're so
appreciate it.
lovely. I have to say, like, I feel all warm and fuzzy when I read all the comments, and I really enjoy having you all along for the ride.
And I really appreciate the efforts people are making of being like, you could try to do this type of thing
Without being
without
spoilery.
being like, you should do this
And being spoilery. So it's been
so
great.
that this thing happens.
Yeah. So you're doing a great job of walking that line, friends.
Yeah, I realize it's tricky, so we appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we tried to prove our authority to Titus, but that didn't work.
Sucked that up.
But we've still got the option
So there's a
if
couple.
we improve our authority along the way.
So there was a couple of things, particularly from the comments, that I was intrigued by. The first
Yes.
was the ledger.
Yes, a bunch of people were commenting on the fact that we could check out our ledger.
Yes. Also, the reality lowdown with Joyce. So speaking with Joyce a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Keen on that. And was there something else you wanted to do?
There was... Well, we've got to go back and talk to Joyce about the case.
Yeah.
Um,
So there's a few things we want to kind of do.
and I'm really intrigued that Kuno has a dad.
Do we want to speak to
Also
Kuno?
a drug taker.
Hmm.
So, anyway,
So we've got a few
that's
things.
probably going to be enough to keep us busy for this episode. I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck our ledger is. Oh, it's here.
interact?
It was looking in the mirror. That's what I wanted to
That's
do.
what you want to do. We could
do that now
zip
because
upstairs.
we're yeah.
So
all right.
here.
Um,
Friends, we've got a cup of tea in between episodes. We're feeling good. We read all your comments, so we're all warm and fuzzy and we're ready to do this.
yeah.
Yeah. So we still have a handful of blueberries left from the last snacking episode.
Is there a mirror in here? Yes, there is. Okay. Get in your room. Oh, I wonder if we could pick up this bottle.
We have the...
Oh my gosh. Our fucking lives right now.
Yes.
Can we?
I thought, no, was it highlighted? No.
Kim also tries not to mark the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore.
I was going to say before, Kim, you don't need to come in. This is us getting a bit introspective.
The man is finding it hard not to trip on the tape, and not to send
oh,
any
this
of the
tape.
bottles rolling across the floor, where unidentifiable sludge makes it hard for him to breathe. Smells of vomit in here.
You're looking at the destruction. Or I'm sorry for this. I did it my way. This is where the magic happens. Or say nothing and nod stoically.
I like between I did it my way and say nothing and nod stoically.
I interpreted this, I think, wrongly from how they've written it. I interpreted it as like, this is the destruction of Harry's self,
Oh.
which then resulted in his new reality.
Yeah.
But that's probably not what they meant.
No, I like your interpretation better. I don't think that's what they meant.
I did it my way.
Hmm.
He takes a
He
step towards the door. It looks like he'd like to leave now. The atmosphere is oppressive.
Fair enough.
Okay, do what you want, mate, but I want to look in the mirror.
He's come to watch us. So this is going
A
to...
mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
So hang on, what's
So what have we got here? We've got encyclopedia, formidable.
Formidable.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Dig deep into your mind to locate the source of the expression.
So that one's, okay.
28%.
And it's encyclopedia.
Yes. And we've got electrochemistry really low. Attempt to stop the expression from happening.
Oh, but we got a +4 from recited the poem, Tommy.
We did.
Yeah.
We also have at least one thing that can increase our electrochemistry.
Okay.
And we've got, oh shit, interfacing. Use your chain cutters to fix the faucet. Stop steam from fogging up the mirror.
Oh shit, but if we put the tool in our hand, that would give us
Yeah.
extra thingamajig. And
Okay,
sorry,
hang
what
on.
is the... Oh,
Oh, sorry.
because it's not... It'll be...
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In
Oh, it's interfacing.
face, adorned
Just knocked my
with
hand on,
expression.
on the microphone.
Okay,
You're welcome,
so
friends.
let's put this guy in our hand.
Oh, is it? It's the cutters.
It's the chain cutter.
Yeah.
And let's also put our interfacing gloves on.
Great. I don't think we have any other interfacing, but we can have a quick check.
I think so. It's yellow.
You're right. We're going to know these. You said in the last one we're going to know these so well, but not yet. I just don't want any negatives.
Yeah. And then we could also possibly put on, what was the other thing? There was an electrochemistry one, but the other one
Encyclopedia.
was encyclopedia, which I think is probably more useful.
Should we try this one first?
Yeah.
Just go one at a time, and then
I just want to, if we can put something on for that.
That was electrochemistry. Was it negative to electrochemistry, or was it fine? +1. Okay, cool. So what else have we got in terms of electrochemistry? The gloves. See, but we're wearing the interfacing gloves. Okay.
I don't think we've got a encyclopedia plus.
Huh.
On
Oh, there's
here.
another electrochemistry.
Okay.
So we'll come back and do that, and maybe we just try the encyclopedia one. Just try it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got 2 we can try now, and we'll come back and do the
mirror hangs
electrochemistry.
I
on the
suspect
bathroom
these
wall.
are against
In
each
it,
other.
Your face, adorned
with
the expression.
Yeah, because this is dig deep into your mind and locate the source of the expression, and this is attempt to stop the expression from happening.
Okay. Shall we do the interfacing one first? Yeah. Oh, look, 42. Looking good.
And it's a white check, so
can
if we
try it
fuck it
again.
up, we can come back.
The chain
Oof,
cutters slip out of
fell
your
in
hands
those all the
as you
time.
attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber.
Well,
That's fair.
that's fair. Do we want to try that? We just try it, and if we fail, we go put on the electrochemistry stuff and try that one. Because we don't have electrochemistry gear on at the moment.
But I want the expression to happen.
Oh, that's. Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I want it.
Okay, try. Let's go.
Okay.
Like the rest
Nope.
of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
I think we should try the electrochemistry one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want me to put the stuff on or just
Yeah.
hit it while it's at 8%?
Nah.
Okay. I'm doing this for you.
Thank you.
This game is what is the word? This experience that we do together
The
is
pockets
all
of these
about
new jeans are perfect for sticking your
collaboration.
hand into.
Yeah.
Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand
Have we
enters
not
the
worn these
pocket,
before?
your fingers brush against something soft yet crinkly.
take it out.
It's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots.
Ooh.
You should inspect it closer if you have time.
It's got drugs
Something-
inside. Oh, sorry.
No, but that'll be in our pocket or our bag to interact with, right? There it is. Interact.
A crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads Tutti Frutti
I love Tutti Frutti.
of apricots with a barely noticeable twinge of cinnamon.
Why do I even care about this?
Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside of the wrapper. Yet you're drawn to it. Drawn by regret. Stop before you hurt yourself with the Tutti Frutti wrapper. Throw it away, please.
We're going to hang on to it just in
You
case.
carefully fold the wrapper into a square before putting it back into your pocket, lovingly even, despite the strange feeling of regret.
Now, the Tutti Frutti wrappers were the ones that were kind of foily, and I wonder if, like, was it used to line up cocaine, or like I'm trying to figure out like what kind of drug-related thing might be.
I have no idea. I'm shaking my head because I don't remember the Tutti Frutti stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was yum. My Nana always used to have heaps of them because she was such a smoker.
Were they
bless.
specific? Because you know, like Hubba Bubba came in like different flavors and stuff. Was it like that?
No, it was only one flavor for Tutti Frutti. It was kind of like gum flavor.
Okay. And it wasn't the ones that came in with like the fake tattoos, the little.
No, but each little piece was the whole thing was kind of like a packet this size, and the whole thing was in a foil wrapper, and the pieces of gum were in like they looked kind of like pills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Momo was like demonstrating size,
Yes, I was. Okay,
so-
so I'm putting on my electrochemistry clothes.
which you've just done.
Have I? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
A mirror
Oh, I'm so
hangs
glad
on the
you're here.
bathroom wall. In
17.
it, your face, adorned with the expression.
There's our face again, by the way.
See, our face adorned with the expression. This
I
is
don't
our
think-
expression.
Yeah, come on, 17 me see.
All right, fine.
Still not happening. It won't come off that easy.
Okay,
Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate.
all good.
Okay, so we still have the two other things we wanted to do. Oh, and whilst we're on our way to that, I think
Yeah.
it might be worth us. So, friends, in between episodes, we were kind of chatting about the approach to the game and how we've kind of come off games like Mass Effect and that have a similar feel in terms of talking to people and getting different different options and text out of them, I guess. But in those sorts of games that we've played, and The Witcher to some extent, right, there was some real negative consequences.
Yeah, it wasn't the sort of game. So a bunch of y'all, and I understand where this is coming from. You're kind of being like, why do you not say all the things? But we've come from games where you definitely don't say all the things because the things you say shape the experience you're having. So like, you either create yourself to be a jerk or a nice person or an honorable person, or like the choices you have influence the kind of experience you have in the game and the kind of person you are
Well, and-
within the game world and how people how people react to you.
And not just that, but sometimes the actual ending of the game itself.
Yeah. So if you're wondering why we're not clicking on all the things, that's literally why. Like,
Apprehension has been built into us.
yeah.
But look, I am having fun going a bit more unhinged.
Yes, I think we have gone a bit more unhinged since people have recommended that. But I also think we reserve the right to.
Fuck, I'm surprised that Kim has not commented on our boots so far. Sorry,
I'm genuinely
just like,
surprised as
that
well.
that is kind of wild. There is, what was I going to say? Oh, yes, we can sell the bottles that we, yeah, look at
Yeah,
us.
we've got like 30 whole cents.
So we have a Ledger and Joyce. My preference would be to speak to Joyce first.
Yep, I'm cool with that.
Um,
There's something I could pick up there.
But yeah, I was going to say, oh, yes, we can sell the fucking thing. We have so much real. Look at our money.
Yeah,
$40.
I'm very happy about that. We will lose 20 overnight, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yes, we will for sure. And it is evening. Do we want to pay off Gart now?
We did just yell at him.
Fuck.
He did interfere with our questioning though, so
He
I think
did.
that was actually like legit. For all the things we have ever yelled at Gart for, that was one of the more legit ones.
I feel like Gart is a bit of a punching bag. He's just easy to.
Well, we were being
Shit
nice
on.
to him, but it was just like,
He's just like curmudgeonly.
yes, yeah. Okay, let's go chat to Joyce.
Oh my gosh! And one day we should work on that karaoke quest.
Or do you want to do the ledger before Joyce?
No, Joyce first. I reckon. Yeah.
All right. I'm bummed that nothing worked on the mirror. That's a real.
I'm pleased we tried. Oh, do we want to pick up the cockatoo quest?
No, I don't care about the fucking cockatoo. I'll come back to that later. You know, I just feel like sometimes I like to pace things as well.
Plus, we get a bit piece of candy. Sidetracked.
Sidetracked, yeah. Come on, hurry up. All right,
Joyce,
Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
tell me about reality.
Well, that's not what we were going to talk
Yes,
to.
my
about.
eyes on the
Here we go.
harbour have sent word to that effect.
Ooh,
discovered?
eyes on. Ooh, I like that bottom one. We have discovered enough to conclude for now. Is it true? Have we concluded for now then? Yes.
Not
kind of.
really. Well, I suppose.
Well-
but I want to ask this because this is a weight. Where are those eyes
It doesn't
located?
really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
It would actually be really helpful if you tell us whose you've got in your pocket.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
We're going to recommend an
The
investigation
lieutenant is
anyway.
about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
I want to let the lieutenant handle it.
Yeah.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
Aha!
Well, the other thing I was going to say
Sorry,
here.
yeah.
No, it's all right. Was if she's got eyes on the harbour, then she'll know possibly a wee bit about what we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
ooh. Okay.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron
Why
and
did she think that?
strawberries.
Yeah. What was that about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
I guess that one of the tricky things in this situation is that you should have those. Is that they actually can't give the union what they want
No.
because what they want is completely unreasonable and it would grind their business to a halt.
Every
So-
single employee on the board. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think it's interesting because she thinks it's going to descend into a small-scale civil war, or at least that's what she's saying to us. That she might be just saying that to make us nervous. I guess once again, I'm curious about the push me pull you that's causing.
Some of this tension.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Okay.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith. Do you need a security detail?
Yeah, I'm going to ask that. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They're meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez.
3?
They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is
Who were the other
deteriorating.
2?
Also, she's telling us a lot. She seems not very happy.
Well, this was the deal, right? That we... She would give us more information if
We looked into the
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
They've got ceramic armor. That might be a way to
get the rest.
the rest of us.
Yes.
It's just we're not finding the rest of this guy's armor. We're just piecing it together.
Yeah, from different people.
Who knows?
Interesting trauma and stressor disorder. I presume that's another way of describing PTSD.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
Because I've heard interesting things about how, in some parts of the world, they really object to calling it PTSD because they're like,
It's not post.
it's ongoing. There's bombs going off in our environment the whole time. It's not post. Yeah. So I wonder if that's more up to date or whether that's a in-game term.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
Oh. Well,
So she knew that the whole time.
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now.
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
I don't.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's not... You can't just execute people just because you feel like it.
Yeah. Nah. Let's.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
This is not Disco.
This is not Disco. Yeah. I reckon you should say that.
It is very far from Disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She grabs a hold of the
if
mainsail.
you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
Well, why don't we find these people and kick them the fuck out of
They
here?
would have to project strength and power.
That's a really bad
The
situation.
Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Shit.
But how many of the debardeurs would die in the process?
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
This is why suddenly it's important for us to learn the weaknesses of our armor.
Yeah.
As I said, a bloodbath.
Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia.
Hey, don't turn this around on us. We're just here to have a good time.
Disco.
All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Okay.
That's tricky in itself. Like, who would you pin it on? Would you pin it on Titus?
Well, I think we're probably trying to figure out who the mystery lady is.
Instigator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm just torn because the anarchist in me is like, well, they did the right thing.
Yeah.
Not the right thing in terms of like the order of the universe, but yeah.
So you said the deceased assaulted a woman. I'm curious about that one. Number 4.
Yeah.
Or he didn't. This is
was your
information
point.
passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
I mean, we can figure out who that is. So what did these teenagers actually
That
say?
the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman.
Okay, so they didn't see the
I've
assault.
asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching.
Yes,
Where
we
did
have.
it take place?
Well, we've heard about it, but not of the assault. We've
We've
heard
heard
that's the
people
reason why.
Telling us about the assault, but we have, yeah, I know what you mean.
We've been told that is the reason why, but we've never been told about the assault itself. How about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk. Maybe on narcotics, too.
So it happened the night that he got killed. So who was there?
Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Who was she?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
Okay,
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
Ooh, interesting.
interesting. What can you tell me about? I'm just gonna go
Yeah,
through
please.
them. What can you tell me about the
Not
Crenel?
much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a
Okay.
long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Right, so they're
Oh.
keyed up for extreme situations.
Yeah.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
So they get away with a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Okay.
Well, we're waiting on information back anyway, so we'll
Yeah.
go speak with the lady on the other end of the radio and then ask this one to
Yeah.
set the next one off. Yeah.
So, give
You
us
know
what
a
you
lot
got.
about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man.
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Could you contact the company and tell them to call them off? I presume there's a reason why she can't do that already, right?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
Interesting. So she has full confidence in the company not screwing her over. Purposefully. Or at least she appears to.
She's being
Had a mouthful of tea.
truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Okay, I was just had a mouthful of tea. Yeah, I think. Yes, I think you're right. Probably.
Tell us about this colonel, the one who... I hate saying that as colonel, because in my head it's always Connell.
Did you not?
Yeah.
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name
Lely.
was...
His service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Ooh.
I think we'll get to say both of these, so
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
start with this one. Tell me about the others first.
One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
Okay.
What would you say was his eye color? The deceased's.
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
It's a pang of regret in her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
Ah,
That's all right,
interesting.
man. Anything else?
What a neat
Nationality?
trick.
What would you say was his age?
He was 40 or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions.
On his jaw.
Did we discover anything on the body about his jaw? I feel like maybe we did.
Is this the other guy? This is the other guy, Corty, right? Am I wrong?
The deceased.
Oh, yes.
Indeed, this matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body.
Yeah, you're
What
right.
else? Nationality? Accent?
He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own.
Okay.
In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Okay, where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth.
It's interesting that they're here to be her guards, but they're not
Ostensibly, yeah.
guarding her at all.
No.
They don't
that's
have
not
the
what they're there
same
for.
respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages.
What, and
It
they're
will
not?
be a fruitful meeting.
Okay.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Yeah, I like the top one, vigilantes. I assume it gets its authority from the coalition. Where does theirs come from?
Yeah.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down.
Okay, we still need to know where they
We're
are.
likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Okay.
So this is a red check, but we have a really high chance of getting it. So
+1 clothes didn't fit right. +2 scab leader bad acting. Oh, because we figured him out. Interesting. Let's do it.
let's do it. But where are they?
One is obviously the
so
scout
worried.
leader at the harbour gates. The
Oh.
one
Oh.
chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely
Yeah.
maintaining his disguise.
Yes.
The other
I
has
thought
a
it was a
vantage
plant.
point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
There's a
Interesting.
vantage point in the building.
South of the roundabout.
Huh.
Now, the one who's I thought this, the scab leader. I thought he was a plant. I didn't realize it was just a poor cover for, act.
Well, I think he is a plant, but possibly not as sophisticated as a plant as it would be if he was like a professional plant from Wild
But-
Pines.
Sure, I guess I think. Well, I see what you're saying. Okay, so one must be the goon in the ill-fitting work clothes by the harbour gates, the scab leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of Harry's vibe.
Uh-huh.
Just
Kicking
kicking
everything.
hornets' nests and then see what happens.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
Nice line.
Yes.
I'm just going to say this because
Yep.
it's here. One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
Would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Practically.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
Radio becoming more and more of a theme.
Yes.
I had another
I
question.
hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Yeah.
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There's a brief silence and seagulls squawk over the bay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Well, that's charming.
Okay, so if we say that's enough for now, that might take us back to
I
the main
am
menu.
sorry it has been the bearer of bad news.
Oh,
If there is
Now-
anything else I can help you with, please ask.
yes.
Now, can you tell me about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard
For
wire and
about
picks the
half a
photo.
minute in silence.
It was taken with a trigger
Sorry.
not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet and observe her expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo
I
paper.
can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Oh, like stars in the sky.
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
Ooh, what is the use of this map?
Yeah.
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption. to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
I've spoken to him. For now, the soul is fastened inside his corpse.
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse.
Wow. What travels did the dead man
Quite a
make?
few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this,
She points to his heart.
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Inter-Easlary Age.
I wonder,
Inter-Easlary rage.
that just makes me wonder if he's been here before and if people knew him, if that was somewhere he came often.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
In Martinez, looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter.
This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Yeah, who could tell me
His platoon
more?
members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Well, we can ask them about the tattoos. Just yeah. Yes, I need more information.
Do what you have to do, detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
That's all about the tattoos. Thank you for
Is
your
there
help.
anything else I can help you with?
Yes, reality.
Do you want to do that? It's been a lot of just standing and listening to talking for.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got some more questions about
Your
reality.
lessons in basic reality?
Just one.
My
Just
favorite
one.
part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What times are these?
Yeah.
These are unimportant times, detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late
Too late for what?
for the big time.
What's the big time?
The revolution.
And what is this revolution I keep hearing
It's
about?
quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
So who got shot in the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head.
40 million people.
That's
I
a
had no idea it was that big of a.
event.
Yeah.
Event. Horrific. Sort of
War.
war. Yeah.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
We're a commie now.
We're coming now. Did the communists and the anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Truly a kerfuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle, all right.
Yes, the Insulindian deluge, they call it.
Anybody else got shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse. or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew.
I mean, that's how kings happen.
The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Cowardly king?
Sure.
I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing, so he got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle got shot in his place.
I mean, he didn't have to stay king if he didn't want to, I guess.
Yeah, just threw somebody else under the
Him
bus in the
and tens
process.
of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Yeah, shit. So who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
And by the minerals? By liberals, you mean?
Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
How did they win it all?
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
So she's calling herself a literal in this situation.
She's one of them. Of course.
If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
But you just said the Liberals already took everything.
The Liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
And who are they exactly?
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay. The armed centre of the world. They landed
NATO.
here and ended the revolution. It was
Or
the
the UN.
moralist thing to do.
Moralist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
Okay.
It's kind of an interesting thing, eh? How, like, you know, violence takes so many different forms. And you can look at a country like America who, well, at least internally, are not shooting people in the head much.
I made a face, which is
Yeah,
why
that's fair. But, like, there's so much structural violence that essentially counts to the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Some would argue that at least other countries that do shoot people who don't agree with them are at least more honest. You know, I know I'm not saying that's
You're not
true.
advocating for that.
I'm not advocating for that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's interesting how, yeah, this kind of like quote unquote moralist view is often just the same thing, but
In a different way.
yeah, yeah.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
I mean, I don't think I'm a moralist, ma'am.
What are these other options? Not technically, practically as well. I like what I've heard about these people. Or if always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am. And also not.
Okay.
I
One
don't
or
mind.
three. One or three. One or three, up to you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said I want all three.
Oh, no.
I don't think I'm a
Of course.
moralist.
Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
Okay, great. When was this kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question.
Is it still going?
The revolution began in 02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
And who started it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government.
What did this disease do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
No way.
No way.
Indeed. Zerat is a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it spread
From
there?
Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Marzolf's government was overthrown in 08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
I've just had a completely wild thought. She hasn't told us much about this disease.
No.
Just that it destroys brain tissue.
Us? Have we got the disease?
Have we got the disease?
It's highly infectious. We're running around infecting everybody.
We've infected all these people.
Yeah. So what came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours
Ah.
are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie,
It's a great
pair
necktie.
of pants.
We also have a mesh shirt, so
I do like the top option, which is our lives are very
our
different
lives
from
are
each
very
other.
different from each other.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
I also think, like, yes, she's upper class and we're lower class, but like, we're living in a similar bubble of, you know, we can get up and go to work every day and then go to bed.
Yeah, and a similar understanding of the world. Well, we have no understanding of the world right now, but presumably we did before.
Yeah. Whereas if there was a war going on, that would be very different.
So what is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
And what happened in the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
I wonder if we'll get to go to any of the other places in the world that aren't as fucked up as where we are.
I hope so. Well,
51 minus
I'm just
8
curious.
equals 43.
Wait, you're saying it's been like this for 43 years?
Time flies.
What have we been doing all that time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
And after
The
that,
30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
She curtsies.
Welcome to reality, baby.
Right.
okay. Oh wow, we got another skill point. I think we've got 3 now.
That's so
For her
good.
to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
Ooh. Which side was Wild Pines Group on?
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not.
They got lucky.
Or did they choose wisely?
I don't know.
Do you want me to say? Which one do you want me to say?
I like lucky, but
Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and led the Pines to doom.
You would have sided with the king?
I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. Perhaps it's better I was born when I was. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Feld, Kupri, Tricentennial. So I suppose I would have been in good company.
What would you have done differently?
Good question.
Oh my gosh.
What would you
So
have
much
done
talking.
differently?
Okay.
I asked you, who are you in all this? I would have sought a medical solution. It sounds like Sazarath drove those people mad. I would have killed more, 400 million if that's what it took. I would have positioned myself very precisely. I would have made it out with the mineral rights. I don't know what I would have done differently. I don't know that it sounds like the the disease was just a catalyst. It doesn't sound like it was the,
Well, it's hard to know. We don't know enough about it.
I guess so.
I'm open to 1, 2, or 5.
One.
Okay.
I asked you, who are you in all this?
And I asked you,
Okay.
past detective of the Citizens Militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you?
Maybe 5? I don't know what I would have done differently.
I feel like that's such a cop-out.
It is. Okay, 2. 2's good.
Medical
A
solution.
cold creeps up your spine, reaching its tendrils up your neck, toward the back of your head.
Let's get into it, Shivers.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds.
Yeah.
And how would you stop a prion? A complex folding protein, unlife, with a technology 50 years ago.
Liquidate the rabid prion-infested dogs who want to kill everyone with cleansing artillery fire. No. Privatized healthcare and work ethic does not turn your brain into sponge tissue. I don't know. The top one was with some hygiene, modern social care, and perhaps a little research program.
I don't know what to say. Do you have any feelings?
I like number 2 for the unhingedness, but otherwise 3 or 3.
All right, let's do 3.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The charge dissipates into the dark water.
I think we
All
do
is
have the
quiet
disease.
on the Martinez Inlet. A dog barks. A gunshot echoes off the walls of some distant building. A woman's voice.
It's all yours.
Ooh. That
That
sounded
was
like
the dice maker.
It did, yes, I was about to say.
A poor remedy for prion disease. That was the attitude of most of the more moderate Indo tribes, particularly those who supported the king.
Oh, shit.
Kupri, Resplendent, both gone now. Those that survived mended their ways. They're all ultras now.
As an ultra
Opinions
liberal?
expressed
Yeah.
here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Ooh.
Understandable.
Okay, that's enough about the times.
enough
So that's
about the
where...
time.
Now what they are, who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality.
That's enough for now.
Is there anything else you want to know?
So,
Not
was
so
all good.
fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
So I think we're done for now. I'm really pleased we talked with Joyce on this episode because we knew it would
Glad
take
to
a
have been
while.
of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
And nice to do those in kind of chunks since they're quite in depth.
Wow, you work hard.
I
Do we?
do.
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
What work do I do exactly?
Yeah.
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
Yeah.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter and a money printer.
Can't say I didn't make that silly guy give me some of his money either. That's right, he gave us $5.
You
You could say I took some money from the Manana guy too. Oh, and there's the guy pawning stuff off to that suspicious Roy guy.
guess I've made some girls, sure.
You want me to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest?
I mean, that did happen.
Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself,
Yeah?
are you rich?
No.
No, I'm really not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
These options are great. It's because of that gut guy riding my ass. The system is broken. There's a market for corrupt cops out there, but the immigrant cops have price dumped it. Fucking taxes, man. I don't know. Why am I so poor? I actually don't like... Oh, maybe it's just the system is broken. The system's broken.
Yeah, I'd be leaning towards number 5, and the only reason for that is, where is all our money? Like, we get paid a wage.
What have we done with it?
I think we spent it all on booze.
I think we did too. And maybe left if we had a house, we left it with our poor wife.
Yeah. So I guess that's
Ex-wife.
why I'm curious if we have an answer for ourselves.
Yeah, I like that rationale. Let's go for it.
Okay.
Because of the taxes.
No, man.
G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
I mean, if the taxes are high and this place is still a shithole,
I was about to say,
that's a fair comment to make.
I don't mind paying taxes because, like, we've got decent schools and we've got,
Yeah. I don't mind paying taxes
The
in,
roads and the
in
blah.
Aotearoa, New Zealand, because we have
healthcare
public health care and
like ACC and
the power works throughout the whole country.
mostly.
When there are
It's not
disasters.
perfect, friends. For sure, it's not perfect. But, like, yeah.
But-
It's definitely worth it to pay taxes because it would cost you more if you had to pay it individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if taxes are high and it's just going into the pockets of the rich, then that's different.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Road tax is almost non-existent in the Gossamer state. That is Revachol.
Okay, I thought there were no taxes. Really? Every time I sneeze? What?
I'm going to ask this because if there are no taxes, I'm really curious about that.
Yeah.
You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax. This tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus, there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gossamer state's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking 98% of all your money.
Wow.
What?
That does seem like a lot. No, we're not opting then. We're not opting then.
No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now. Or are you sure? That seems like a pretty big number.
Yeah, I think, let's say, are you sure? That seems like a pretty
Yeah.
big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Yeah, deregulation doesn't work. Anyway, so should we go with number 3?
Bleeding nipples are kind of a pain, but how will deregulation help with that? I'm kind of like opting in,
opt
but
in
only
but
a little.
Do you want to opt in for a little?
Yeah, because
go for
if
it.
we were paying 98% tax, that would be fucking bullshit.
You're right. If that's true, that is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Also,
Also-
this, I was going to talk about.
I think we're about to say the same thing, that like opting in just means you gain the thought. You
Yes.
don't have to research the thought.
I was going to say that, but after I agree with you. I was going to point out, I'm super tired, friends. I'm like,
Yeah, same.
what I was going to say was we don't know how this tax system works, but most tax systems are kind of, what's it called when you sort of slice each.
Yeah, they
So if you're in the top tax
They have
bracket, your
grades.
entire
Yeah.
income is not taxed at the highest tax bracket, only the certain amount above whatever you've earned. So,
Yeah.
I'm not explaining it very well. You know what I'm talking
You
about,
guys
friends.
know
Hand
what we
flap.
mean.
You know what I mean.
If you're earning $100,000 and the tax bracket was 90% at $100,000, only the $1 you were making at 100,000 would be taxed at 98%.
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Okay. All right, we're finished.
There was
I'm
a
so
lot
tired.
of dialogue. Let's just check out these yellows and then we'll finish up, shall we? So we've got 3 points, which is great.
I think we should look at this in the next episode. And
I
the reason
agree.
why I say that is I think we should look at our checks first, see what we want to level up in,
100%.
and
yeah.
then do this. So
Yeah.
let's do that. Next step. I'm just way too tired. I can't even form sentences, as you just heard before, friends, when I'm trying to talk about fucking tax.
To be fair, it's not like tax is a particularly interesting subject.
There's some sort of like...
I don't know what
there is
the-
a tax specialist, and there's like...
And they're like, no! Okay, so we can ask the scab leader about the tattoos. And that's related. Ask another about the tattoos, possible meaning. And then we got indirect modes of taxation. First, if you have a side bitch ideology cooking somewhere, don't sweat it. Fighting indirect taxation for the Gosman state is compatible with all creeds. It's cool like that. You're a cool anarchist now, unless you don't want to be an anarchist. Whatever. Stuff this meal ticket in your eye socket and let's see if we can steal some love back from the robber barons at the customs agency and the banditos at the Insulanden Financial Oversight and Conception Committee.
Yeah, and as you pointed out, like, people here, if they're paying taxes, they're not getting a lot for it, doesn't look like. Friends, I hope...
We're very close to getting this one, which is cool.
Yeah, we're close.
And it's almost 10 p.m. in the game. No, 9 p.m. in the game, so we'll be able to debrief with Kim soon if we want to, and then go to bed.
Yeah.
But we also will probably next time look at our
Ledger.
yeah,
at our ledger.
ledger. But we're not going to do that now because we are both sleepy.
We're going to go to bed in real life, friends. I hope you have some rest ahead of you.
And
Either-
actually, just
Ooh.
let me interrupt your
Sign-off?
sign
My
off by saying we appreciate your patience, people. We are having some issues both with like life stuff and health stuff. Things are a little bit intense at times at the moment, so do have patience when we miss a week.
Yeah, hang on there.
We know you know that we care about you and we want to give you guys great content and we'll do our best to get it out there. But sometimes it's just the stars do not align. But thank you for your patience.
Yeah, we appreciate you hanging in there. So here's the sign off. Friends, go get a nap or a rest or sleep of some sort. Because
Snuggle a kitty if you have one.
get to bed, we're getting to bed, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you then.
Bye.